Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Jer. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to the live edition of Your Daily Detroit. It is a Tuesday. It is a Tuesday, Norris Howard. It is a Tuesday. The Prince of Brightmoor. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. It's actually really nice out, man. It's a really great day, and I'm excited to sit here and talk about all the happenings in Detroit.
Yeah, we've got one big topic today that I'm excited to wrestle with. And then we're going to also talk about a few things on the edges because you were out. There's some stuff happening this weekend. It's just a lot of things.
You know me. I be rotating through the Motor City streets. You know what I do. So very excited to talk about all the stuff going on, and very excited to see y'all joining us for yet another weekly live stream.
It is good. It is good. If you are rotating, are you actually rotating?
Yes.
Like twirling?
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Well, also, we're on a sphere.
So you are always rotating. We are always rotating.
We're always rotating. There's never not a time we're not hurling millions of miles per hour through negative space.
I feel like the algorithm is going to bring some flat earthers our way now.
You know what? Let me tell you something right now, okay? I'll take anybody who wants to watch the show. I don't care.
Do you really want to fight with flat earthers in the comments?
If you think I've fought with flat earthers for years, okay? This is not new to me.
You've been a games journalist.
I have.
You fought with all kinds.
I have dealt with all of society's brain rot for the better part of a decade, so nothing shocks me anymore.
You know what I really appreciate? We'll chat a little bit before we get into things so people can join us for the stream.
Yeah.
I really appreciated the conversation between Mark Maron and Barack Obama. Not only was it Mark Maron's final episode, but I appreciate that it was on YouTube. It was out there and the people saw it, and I was reminded whether you agree with them or not, that was actually a good conversation and so much more fulfilling than most of the crap I see out there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's how I feel. Obviously we are post-mortem of, many people, the Obamas of the world, the Joe Bidens, all that kind of stuff. And for me, at the end of the day, Obama was a dude who, one, got in office, did what he's supposed to do, and dipped out. And you know what? I respect that. Obama was the quintessential man who came to work, punched in, punched out, went home.
You know what's funny about that in that conversation? He wanted to dip out even more.
Yes.
Like he straight out said, I wanted to go to training the next generation. That was going to be the goal of Foundation, train the future. I didn't need to be a part of it anymore.
I wanted to be out the way.
I wanted to hand off things, but right away people were like, oh, you got to comment on this and you got to comment on that. And I feel like that was overall, I'm not saying a mistake on his part, but I feel like we need to constantly think about how do we set up our systems to hand off to the next generation?
We don't hand them off to the. What are you talking about? Like,
we have a gerontocracy.
Baby boomers have been in charge for 40 years. What are we talking about? Like legitimately, like they have.
That really applies into so many topics, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It really does. Stina's in the chat. Welcome. Good to see you. Okay, I understand the always moving, but if I really think about it, I get a little wigged out.
Why? The universe is beautiful. It's a fantastic thing when you really think about it. And you think about just how small and infinitesimal we really are in the grand scheme.
See, I always think of those mechanical solar systems like Da Vinci.
Oh, yeah, like the quantum physics of it all.
You know what's firing up is, I think it's already started, going through January, the Michigan Science Center has a display of 40 of Da Vinci's inventions.
Oh,
that you can play with.
I want to check that out. That sounds fun.
Remember when we went to the dinosaur exhibit? We should go to this one.
We should go to this one. The dinosaurs were cool.
They were really cool. I personally love the T-Rex going past Michigan Central and just eating things.
I liked the cassowary because cassowary still exists.
Have you ever met a cassowary in person?
No. Oh, yes, I have actually at the zoo. Yes, I have.
I have, and I fed a cassowary.
That's pretty cool.
It wanted to kill me the whole time.
I love the fact that a cassowary, crocodiles and cassowaries are both dinosaurs. Think about that.
Should we one of these weeks coming up just not tell anybody and just put on a cassowary hat and an alligator hat?
I just want to go to the zoo.
We could do it at the zoo. We know people at the zoo. I don't think there's a cassowary at our zoo.
No.
The capybaras. Wouldn't that be?
You love capybaras.
Wouldn't it be so great to have the two shot of us at the zoo, and then the capybaras behind us?
I will be at the Penguin House.
Why couldn't we do a series why couldn't we partner with the zoo? The zoo, there's got to be some sort of partnership possible.
There is, but I'm just letting you know where I'm going to be at the whole time is in the Penguin House because I love penguins.
Welcome, David, to the chat. Fun fact, they used to manufacture those metal solar systems in Detroit at the Pioneer Building on East Grand Boulevard.
Look at that Detroit history.
Man, we are so fast on it. In this episode, we're going to have more Detroit history, too.
Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, that's a really cool tidbit of information, David. Thank you.
Stina has a couple of things. All birds are dinosaurs, and that is...
Yes, that's true.
See, it's so much different when you approach things and go, I'm not going bird watching, I'm going dinosaur watching.
Yes.
It feels different.
Yes.
I maybe don't feel like I'm entering that stage of life.
That's why I love flightless birds. All my favorite birds are flightless birds. Penguins, ostriches, emus, cassowaries. I love all the flightless birds because they're just dinosaurs.
Kiwis?
Kiwis, yes.
Yes, we have an inflatable kiwi in the studio. You can't see it. We have an additional bird here.
Yes.
Actually.
The duck.
The duck, that is a Detroit-made duck because Detroit was the home of duck decoys, the center of the duck decoy industry.
That's right. The duck decoy industry complex.
Handmade wooden duck decoys until they became plastic and mass-produced. I mean, these were still mass-produced. In fact, there were multiple levels.
Yeah, there were
of
wood
duck decoy
for like
they
a
would make.
long time. Yeah, you could still get a wood one like well into my lifetime.
Cena says the universe is amazing, but thinking about the movement triggers my vertigo, and thinking about the size makes me feel like I'm in an ant farm. But we are.
All right, but how does it trigger vertigo if like you're on terra firma? I don't understand vertigo, so maybe I don't know. That's more of isn't that like an ear thing?
I don't know all the details. I am not a doctor. I'm
neither.
okay with saying that I'm not a doctor, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is unlike many of the most popular podcasts in America.
Isn't that fantastic to hear somebody just go, you know what, bro? I don't know.
Mr. 1213, good afternoon. Piggybacking on the topic of Chick-fil-A, there's one opening on Mac near Radnor on the east side. I still think that would be great for downtown, even though I don't eat there. Yeah, so that is true. That is moving along. There's actually been a lot of conflict with that one because of a school. Well, it's a children's center that recently was officially accredited as a school. There's some back and forth with the property lines on that one, but it seems like that one's farther along. We stopped by the to take a look, and it did not look like progress was.
So I was actually walking around downtown this morning, and there seems to be some activity at the Chick-fil-A. There was a lot of activity. They were inside of the building itself, and they were also doing some additional work on the sidewalk in front of there. But like it was clear that the two were related. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. Listen,
whatever you feel about Chick-fil-A, I do acknowledge the fact, and you're absolutely right, Mr. 1213. Hello, good to see you. You're absolutely right. Detroiters are going to buy the hell out of all that Chick-fil-A. Whatever I think of it, that is just I have learned in my older age. Now that I'm closer to 50 than 40,
chicken sandwich, bro.
People are gonna do what they're gonna do.
They're gonna eat it up. A good chicken. I just think anything being closed on Sunday is an affront to society. Like truly, like hunger doesn't stop on Sunday.
Look, damn near 3/4 of this town closes on Sunday.
Hunger doesn't stop on Sunday.
You know what else doesn't stop on Sunday? Need for hardware stores.
There you go.
And you know what? Unless it's the Home Depot, there's very few hardware store options I have, and I usually have to hit the suburbs on Sundays if I don't want to stop at a chain spot.
It's absolute poppycock.
And no offense to Home Depot, but the one in Detroit is like Wyoming.
7 Mile Myers.
7 Mile Myers. That is a little bit far away from the east side.
From you, for sure.
From me. I just
for me, it's a shout up to Lodge.
Right. For you, it's shout up to Lodge. But for me, shout out, by the way, who's pretty reliable with stuff if you need stuff and I always need stuff on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Two of the ones in the suburbs, Tony's in Hazel Park and Point Hardware. I think they're both Aces. I'm not sure. In Grosse Pointe Park, right near the border there. You can do a stop. You can go to Post. You can go to Decent Detroit for some coffee. Post for some goods. It's a whole thing up that Kirchville strip.
All right, fantastic. So there you go for your hardware needs on Sunday.
You don't have many hardware needs, do you?
No. Actually, sometimes I do, but you got to understand, as a former homeowner, I still have a lot of my tools and stuff. So
But do you have the trauma?
No. No. I grew up in houses, so like fixing stuff myself, I'm not opposed to it. I'm used to it. You know, something goes wrong in my apartment, I'm not waiting on maintenance, bro. I'll fix it myself.
Because people kind of fall into two camps.
Yeah.
Where it's either you really are okay with fixing it and it's fine, or I just want to rent.
The only thing I'm not going to fix is like anything stove related. Like gas line related stuff I'm not touching because that can get dangerous. But like my toilet, like I'll fix my own toilet. I don't care. Plumbing's easy.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, plumbing's super
A lot
easy.
of that stuff. If you're just not afraid of it and you get over like the ick.
Yeah, that's it. You just got to get over the ick. Just take a shower.
And that's why you're fixing your plumbing.
Exactly.
You can take a shower.
Just take a shower.
Stina makes the point, actual benign positional vertigo is the weirdest thing. It is tiny crystals in the tubes in your ears getting moved around and hitting the cilia, those little hairs that are in them.
I told you it was ear related. I told you. I knew it. I told you it was ear related.
It's just wild.
Yeah. But Stina, you in space no matter what you do. I'm just letting you know right now. You're in space right now. You're in space.
You know, one of my favorite...
You an astronaut.
One of my favorite animated GIFs or GIFs is the one where the dog's in the spacesuit just flying through the compartment. It just says, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
You'll see that in the member Discord if you join us at patreon.com/dailydetroit. Because it's true, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I got to post the one where it's literally a T-Rex on the moon. And it's just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, man, listen, Stina, you're an astronaut. We're all astronauts. All of humanity is an astronaut.
I feel like that's also another podcast.
Yeah, and we're all made of star stuff.
That's true. That's another podcast.
Yep.
Let's see. So we're referencing what? Let's see. Star Talk.
Yep.
Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Geez, there's a bunch of them.
There's a lot. This can go a lot of ways. So, Jared, bring us back.
We're going to bring it back now that we've got people here. It's so good to see everybody in the chat. Did we mention that we went to the West Side?
We did. We went to a farmer's market.
We did.
It was really lovely. So we were in Rosedale Park. We got a line from one of our listeners, Mr. Duckett, who told us about this farmer's market that happens once a month. So we went and checked it out. I went and bought a vinyl copy of Thriller because I hadn't had one.
I bought spaghetti squash.
Jared bought squash, which is what you're supposed to buy at a farmer's market. I'm the jerk that was just like, oh, records. Like, so I went and bought records at the farmer's market. So it was fantastic. It was nestled deep within the over there by the community center in Rosedale Park. And if you haven't been over there, if you haven't checked it out, sometimes actually, like, don't be a weirdo, but like if you just find yourself in Rosedale Park, like maybe just like ride around for a second and really like appreciate the architecture and the layout of Rosedale Park. It is so gorgeous, especially now in the fall months. Oh, it's so beautiful to drive through Rosedale.
We even went by a ballpark that you played at as a kid?
That's right, where I used to play T-ball. I used to play T-ball in the Grandmont Rosedale T-ball league, where we used to play between Rosedale Park or 7 Mile and Wyoming. There used to be a community center right there, so we would play right there sometimes. Now,
as visiting royalty to the Grandmont Rosedale neighborhood, playing T-ball, did you have servants bring the bat on, say, a fluffy purple pillow?
No. I posed as one of the people. They did not know. I merely posed as one of the people until they found out that my dad coached, and then I got treated differently. So
now, do you look like your dad? Could they tell?
Oh, I look just like him. It was nothing I could do.
No hiding on that one?
It was no hiding on that one. There was nothing I could do. Like, we stood next to each other, and they were just like, yep, nope.
Norris is not the son of the milkman.
No. He's got to play shortstop. He's got to play shortstop.
Now, were you good at shortstop?
I was decent. I was never a big hitter. I never had a fantastic arm, but I could get in front of the ball. I was never afraid of the ball, and I could get it to first quick, and I could get on base. That was my skill set in baseball.
Now, I know we talked about a little bit on the show that aired today with Fletcher Sharp about the ball game, and I want people to go check it out, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get shows. But, Norris Howard, did you stay up for all... I want to talk to you specifically. Did you stay up for all 15 innings?
Yep.
As did I.
Yep. I was so sad. But you know what? At the same time, there was a shred of pride because this was a team that was in the dumpster in September that found the willpower to claw back to, a do or die game in Seattle against the best pitching core at bare minimum in the American League. Some will say in the entire MLB. And for me, I thought they did what they could do, but I think this just reveals the very basic issue with this team, which is we don't have contact hitters. We don't have a guy who could just every day get on base and be on base every day. Every single solitaire. Put him in the 2 slot, and you gonna have a man on base every time.
It's real bad when I'm like, yeah, you know what? The Tigers should sign Fletcher Sharp.
Just get on base.
Just get on base and then get a pinch runner.
Yeah, just get on base. We're always kind of going for this like go for broke, swinging for the fences type thing, and that's cool, and it puts butts in the seats, and that's fantastic. But contact hitters are what get you the multi-run home runs. Is how you get the RBIs. Is how you get deep into the postseason. Is small ball. We all listen. Chicks dig the long ball. We get it, but small ball is what wins you championships. Pitching and small ball. Period.
We are about to get to recording the episode, but Michael's in the chat. Welcome. Good to see you. I have a friend who just bought a house in Rosedale Park. What a beautiful neighborhood. Yep.
We love Rosedale. Mr. Duckett, we were just talking about being at the farmers market in Rosedale. Thank you for sliding into the chat.
I got a squash and thought of you, Mr. Duckett.
That's right. That's right. And the cider was delicious. To everybody out there in Rosedale, the cider was delicious.
Very good. It was in oh man, I could have drank like a gallon of that. I've been hopped up on sugar the rest of the day.
I have to stop myself because I really like apple cider.
See, the thing is you don't look like you have vices like that.
Oh, I love apple cider, bro. That's the only thing about fall I like.
The only thing? Come on. The only thing?
Yeah.
I have a lot of things I like about fall.
Fall's my least favorite season.
Really? Okay. It's my favorite.
Actually, cider, close. Cider and close. Best clothes come out in the fall, fantastic. Cider and clothes, that's it.
Stina made the point, we can get on bases back about the Tigers, but we can't get people home. There was one game versus Cleveland that we left 15.
And that's why you get small ball. You can't depend on the home run. You got to have guys who can cycle through. Bam, 1 base, 2 base shot, single, double, single, double, single, double, small ball.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we will adhere to the title of this live stream for the main part of the episode. But in case you are new to live stream, so good to see the chat. Make sure that you put your questions in the chat, or if you've got ideas and topics. What we're going to do is record our regular Daily Detroit episode that will air tomorrow, Wednesday, October 15th. So when I give the date line, don't be freaked out.
We haven't time traveled.
I have not committed to time travel, although I do love the Doctor Who themed telephone booth, Little Free Library on the Near West Side.
Ooh.
That thing is dope.
Who's your favorite Doctor Who?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Let's you take the show to think about that. We'll revisit that.
We will, because I can see his face.
Yeah.
I got to look up the name because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But I do like the robots, the Daleks and things.
Oh, everybody loves Dalek.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do the show, stick to our topic on legal weed being a disappointment in Michigan, or has it been? We'll do a little bit of stories ahead of it. Again, put your stuff in the chat. Maybe I can incorporate it live. I won't do as much chat talk during the podcast record because for the thousands of listeners, they are not on the chat. They are not as special as you, and they won't have any context to what we're talking about.
That's
but
right.
We will save everything and answer questions, get into it afterward.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff, as we always do. And I apologize for those who are regulars. I feel like I have to repeat it every time.
You shouldn't. They know.
They know?
They know.
In case you got the new people?
They know.
All right. So, by the way, a couple other quick things I want to mention in the chat before we get started, though. I got to mention them on the show, too. We will be at the Downtown Detroit Partnership. Actually, I won't mention this on the show because it will have already aired. We'll be at the Downtown Detroit Partnership Fall Forum at Michigan Central doing video tomorrow morning.
There you go.
So that's going to be a lot of fun with some great backgrounds. And we got some great guests lined up for some breaking news. And then maybe, I don't know if we can get producer Adam out or however we do this. We're going to have the mayoral debate recap.
I'm excited for that.
On Thursday morning. We're going to record it Thursday morning. I don't know what time. But that's Wednesday night is the debate at 7 p.m. on WXYZ. And then we're going to do our recap. We'll do less than 20. I don't think we're going to go crazy.
No, it'll be quick. It'll be quick.
So, although Although the overall interest in this race hasn't been what it was during the primary, I do think it's important we cover it. I also know that we're going to do another live stream for the election night for that and the council races. We've already got some listeners who want to come in.
Yeah, you know what?
Maybe
that's
we'll
one
do
of those
that.
things like we'll grab a TV or something, put it up, and then we'll just have like kind of like a small election night party. I'm obviously trying to work my connections because I'll probably end up having to do the same thing where like I have to pop around to each of the two camps, see what happens. But yeah. I'm very excited for this next election cycle. It's gonna be really important for the city of Detroit. So,
well, and if you are in our Patreon member only Discord, you would know that we're starting to put together plans for a Greektown get together.
Yep.
We're working on finding the place. I'm not going to announce it because I don't want to set. I don't want to speak wrong. I have a 90% sure chance of where it's going to be, but I want to make sure to officially ask them.
Listen, and I'm gonna just tell this to y'all right now, man. We can't fight in Greektown, but a part of me feels like we should fight. Like a part of me feels like
Barb crack me up.
A part of me feels like it's tradition for us to just like have a fight. Like, so if anybody is like knows like wants to bring some gloves, we should just fight in Greektown because it's tradition. It's tradition to have a fist fight in Greektown.
Should it be like the movie Anchorman?
Yeah.
And should we find another show? Like, should we get ML Elric and the Soul of Detroit folks out and like meet in the middle of the broke ass street?
Yes. And let's just all have a friendly fight.
David Porter, there's still an election.
That's how a lot of people feel, David. You know, it's funny. Depending on the state, I know Texas does it, and I know there's a couple other states. But
if you get
51%, you don't have a general.
Yeah,
you just win because you have a plurality.
Yeah. So yeah, that would have been interesting. No, we should think about that. Who are we fighting? Are we going to fight amongst? Should we do like a Daily Detroit Contributor Royal Rumble?
Yeah, it's just got to be a rumble. We can't sit there and go, person for person. This has got to be a rumble.
Yeah, and it's got to be ridiculous.
Yeah, but should I wear costumes? We just have a pit, so it's right there. The construction site is there, so we just treat it like it's like a Power Rangers episode. We fight in a quarry.
Do we need the comedian T-Barb to come narrate it?
Yeah. I'm down, man. Let's just do it.
I'm a big man.
I'm quick though. I'm quick.
You know who's gonna win? Producer Adam.
Yeah. I don't want to fight Producer Adam.
No, we're not. We're not fighting.
I don't want to fight Producer Adam.
No, we're not. That he will stand there victorious.
He looked like like Krav Maga or like jiu-jitsu or something like that. Like
Krav Maga.
Yeah.
Krav Maga. That sounds like a sheriff, sir.
Yeah, Krav Maga. So one of them fighting styles where you can fight people on the ground and standing up. Yeah. One of them.
Or there also might be like a robot army
or Russian Sambo or something like that. Something like that, man. It's just he seems like the kind of guy that. But if you guys come out, you'll be able to meet Producer Adam. You'll see what I mean.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We would lose. But it would be fun losing.
Yeah, we'll have a good time.
All right, let us go over here and get ourselves going. Run down. All right. And by the way, thank you everyone who's in there. A bunch of people in there today. It was very good.
Yeah.
All right, we're recording audio. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Daily Detroit, sharing what to know and where to go in Southeast Michigan. It is Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. I am Jer Stays, coming to you from our studio at Tech Town in the Paris of the Midwest that is the city of Detroit. Joining me to my left is none other than Detroit royalty himself, the Prince of Brightmoor, third of his name, Norris Howard. How are you?
What's going on, y'all? I am so happy to be back in the studio to chat with y'all about my favorite thing, Detroit.
And we've got some interesting topics today. We're going to do a little bit of where we've been, give you a little bit of heads up for the weekend. And then we're going to dive into a deeper conversation that I believe will be the start of a conversation for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think we need to look back a little bit and discuss, was Michigan's marijuana legalization live up to the hype?
Yeah, I think it's a really important conversation for us to have, and maybe we can stimulate some minds into thinking about this a little bit differently, because clearly people are very turned up about this particular topic.
And we've gotten a lot of feedback since we've had Annalise Frank on from Axios.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some people who have a lot of strong thoughts in media across the board on feedback, especially because there is now talk of in fact, it was signed into law, a increase on the wholesale tax, 24%. Right. Now, that isn't the retail tax. That's the wholesale tax. That's before retail.
Before it gets to you.
Before it gets to you. That was to raise purportedly $420 million.
Yeah, we'll get into the details.
Yeah, we'll get into the details, but it's gotten a lot of thoughts, and I think it's an opportunity to kind of dive into it a little bit. But first, let's give people some heads up on what's happening this weekend, as well as a little bit of where we've been. I think the first thing I want to mention, listener Ron reminded me that the Detroit Free Press Marathon weekend of races, it's this weekend.
That's right. So if you are going downtown both Saturday and Sunday, expect streets to be closed. Expect there to be delays. You can go to freepmarathon.com for the exact map to show you which streets are going to be locked down for the duration of those 2 days. But Saturday is going to be your shorter run. You want your 5K and the kids races and stuff like that. And then Sunday is the full boy.
Now, I did not realize, I knew, but I didn't visualize how big this map is in the context of Detroit. It's going all the way out near me on the east side.
Yeah, I think it goes as far east as Burns.
Yes, that'd be an Indian Village.
Yeah, like Burns or Agnes or something like that, like pretty far east.
And especially during the day, parking lots are going to be full.
Yeah. So, definitely on Sunday, be ready for delays. Be ready for parking structures and parking prices to go up. So expect all of that. Saturday, maybe not so much. If you got something later on in the afternoon or in the evening, you should be okay. But those streets are still going to be closed. So make sure you just plan accordingly.
Well, you were out and about.
Yeah, man. So listen, I don't do this often, but I went out to the club, Jer. I went to the club. And I went to the club because we had a wonderful party here at Tech Town, Toast of the Town. Fantastic gathering, wonderful people. And thanks to Tech Town for putting it on once again.
Apparently, more than 800 people came through these very studio doors.
That's right. But afterwards, people were like, Norris, what is the night move? And I decided, hey, let's go check out that new club. So I went down to Aura on Shelby Street. That is Shelby and was that Griswold? Anyway, it's over there. Just
not Griswold.
Not Griswold.
Shelby and Larned?
It's not Larned. It's
Congress?
The street Congress. Shelby and Congress. So right there on Shelby and Congress, and used to be an old bank, and it is now being touted as a luxury club experience, if that's your thing. And I realized two major things. I realized number one, there is a deep lack of lounges in Detroit. There is either bar or club, not a lot of lounge.
Define for the listeners.
So bar, right? Your bar is your turn up type situation, not turn up, but your bar is you go in there to drink lots of beers, you have some nice cocktails, whatever. Our lounges are like really tiny. So I'm thinking like Candy Bar, Campers. Campers is pretty large, but Monarch Club, like there's one or two nice lounges, but we need more, right? Easy peasy bar, right? Breakman bar. You know what I mean? Like Queens bar.
I think it's literally called Queens Bar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these are bars, right? And then you got the club. So Aura's the club, dance area, loud music, drinks cost $1,000. And
not literally,
more like 30. But, you're there for the turn up. You're there to sweat a little bit, and you're there to put on your little outfit, and you're there to see and be seen, right? So, I went there, checked it out, and the second thing I realized is I'm too old for the club. I won't go to the club no more.
I was gonna ask if
I'm
you hit the
old, bro.
I was wondering about that. I was wondering. I've been thinking about this ever since I knew you were free.
Let me put it this way. I can't do that. I can't do the can't do that club no more. Like Spotlight, I could do Spotlight. Like give me some house music, give me some chill.
Spotlight is one of the most universal venues I've ever seen exist in Detroit.
Everyone loves Spotlight because you got the two different DJ booths, but also they cater to a crowd or they cater to a musical taste that everybody would be able to touch.
See, I like it because there are multiple phases and multiple things during the day.
Yes.
So if you want to be a little bit more, because listen, I was going to laugh if you thought you were too old. Like I was going to actually ask you directly.
Yes.
But then you just jumped right to it because
Yeah.
I am too old.
No, I know I'm too old.
I look like I'm picking up my kids.
Yeah. Like my thing is, but see, here's the thing. Jared, it's because you in the in-between. I'm approaching the in-between, right? Unc can't be at the club.
Yeah, you don't have gray hair. I have gray hair.
Right, but Unc usually can't be at the club. But there's always a couple old guys at the club.
But you don't want to be
Always.
them.
You don't want to be them, but they there.
They're there. Now,
Right.
one of the reasons maybe you want more lounges is for yourself.
Yes, because I want more of that experience. I love the go somewhere and there's a lot of couches
You know what?
and there's service, like they come to you. You know what I mean? And you don't have to pay to sit in the couches. That's another hallmark of the club. To sit down, you got to pay money. That's ridiculous.
You know, one of the spots that when it opened, me, Devin, O'Reilly, Engineer Randy, and some others went to, this was before you were regular with us.
Yeah.
We went to the opening of the Godfrey's rooftop.
Yeah, the Godfrey.
That could lounge potential.
Yeah. No, you definitely could do it. Like it's not set up currently to be full blown lounge, but they could if they wanted to. Right?
Fair,
Like they
fair.
could if they wanted to. So, I just think let's lean more into that because first of all, like there's way more millennials than Gen Z, so we don't even want to deal with them right now. Let's cater everything to millennials. And yes, I'm saying that out loud, and I don't care because we spending money out here.
Throw your tomatoes at Norris Howard.
Don't care. All right.
Now, I want to mention this because it's one of the coolest buildings in downtown Detroit, where Aura is located. So it's a Bankers Trust Company building, and I think the best Starbucks, don't throw tomatoes at me. If I go to Starbucks, the Starbucks I like the best is the one in the Marquette building across from the convention center.
Yeah, on Washington.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
There's space to sit. It's got a great city view. So it's on that same block. And when I pass it by, I see this Bankers Trust Company building. And I got some notes from historicdetroit.org. Shout out to Dan Austin, the awesome Austin. This building was built in 1925 and it has so much history. It's only like 2 or 3 stories tall.
Yeah.
But the ornateness of everything, the design, just exquisite. Exquisite.
When you look at it, you know it can only be either a church or a bank, which kind of makes sense considering like what we value in America. So like you look at it and you could tell that it has been a bank and it's beautiful. The edifice on it is beautiful.
There's even dog carvings.
Yeah, there's incredible work on it. But the funny thing about it is this been a club like a bajillion times. No one has ever turned it into anything else but a club.
I don't know when the last time it wasn't a club, but
Not for 20 years.
I have a little bit of history bit thanks to this I wanted to point out.
Okay, hit it.
The vice president of the Bankers Trust Company,
Okay.
Edwin Denby.
Of Denby High School.
Correct.
fame.
The same Denby who I think he became Navy secretary.
Interesting.
Yeah, big deal. So that's where Denby High School came from.
There you go. There you go. So if you also need some additional context, if you guys have ever been to the Shelby Cocktail Bar, it is across the street from the Shelby Cocktail Bar, which is also a very cool place if you haven't been there yet, which is actually inside of an actual bank vault across the street.
I would like to pronounce a club suspected dead.
Yeah, we got to say it.
Yeah. So whether it was some video that a listener and contributor took,
Yep.
calling them and getting the dreaded disconnect sign,
Or the socials.
looking at their socials that haven't posted since the spring, looking at their website with no events to come.
Yeah.
I believe One Mic Detroit, the comedy club, the mic's been unplugged.
Yeah, man. So, we did some background on this and we've gone, I've gone on foot to check it out and we've called, as Jer said, and it seems like One Mic is all but dead. Now, if you're unfamiliar with One Mic, this was on Broadway Street, right next to the Z Lot, the former Punch Bowl Social. If that's your context for it. But it's looking like it's all bad. This was a investment from comedian Mike Epps.
I think it was a licensed thing.
Yeah, it was a license. It was a licensing thing where apparently he had a number of these across the country. Mm-hmm. So it was a franchise move, but they don't have any furniture in there, as you can see, and it's been cleared out. And it's kind of sad, man, because that was a spot, particularly like right after the pandemic, that people really kind of latched onto, particularly in the black community. A lot of black folks went out to support it because it had Mike Epps' name on it, and he often comes to Detroit for his shows. It's one of his bigger shows on his tour stops, and it just seems like this was it, and they just couldn't maintain it.
As I said, I haven't been able to confirm it with anyone, like actively confirm it. It feels like it's one of those things. Some places, especially in entertainment, just kind of slide out.
Yeah.
And that's just sad to see. Again, if someone's got other information, let me know, dailydetroit@gmail.com. But I'm going to mention it in our newsletter that goes out and put some pictures and whatever. But it's sad to see. And so many things have taken a hit since the pandemic, and especially comedy. Like, I don't even feel like the other comedy spots are really what they were. I've been hearing that comedy spots in a number of places around Metro Detroit have been having issues.
Yeah, and it feels like we should kind of want to go laugh even more now. But I feel like that is one of the industries that we kind of have not really recognized the effects of social media on the comedic world. We really haven't analyzed it as much as we've analyzed other verticals.
I think people go to specific shows for people that blow up. So, for instance, I saw Kevin Fredericks.
Yeah, Kev on stage.
Kev on stage. I went out to Greater Grace. Packed house.
Yeah.
Great time.
But also, look at his social following.
Huge.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that is the vehicle. Like, you do the social first, and then you go and do the live shows when, traditionally in the comedic world, you gotta get your chops busted on stage somewhere in a tough town like Detroit or Chicago.
People like Matt Rife never would have gotten to the top without social media. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying the game has changed.
The game has changed.
All right, let's get to the main topic for this episode. And let's focus on Michigan's marijuana business. And has it really lived up to people's expectations? Has it disappointed? And I think we want to set some ground rules for this conversation.
Yeah, sure.
We've gotten into a few of the factual bits of it previously, but I think we want to look at it from a few different angles.
Yeah.
Especially in light of this 24% tax raise. There are lawsuits underway right now that would increase the wholesale price of marijuana. The fact that historically Michigan has had the lowest or among the lowest marijuana taxes in the nation. And also all the promises around social justice, around local communities, around evening the playing field that were made. And I think I want to start with one rule. I don't think we're arguing it should be made illegal. Let's start there.
That's not the argument.
Let's start there.
That has nothing to do with the argument. No, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Let's start there and say that there have been a lot of interesting side effects of making it legal and other states not being legal. So Michigan has set sales records, I think something like $10 billion or something crazy. A lot of that is something that Michigan has a unique market position. It is near a couple of states that where it is illegal. The other thing I would mention, and this is something that has been highlighted in a lot of places, is that Michigan has a severe oversupply problem.
And that's actually the first point I want to stick on, right? Which is one of the first things I want to mention. It's really critical. Hold on, everybody on the live stream.
On the live stream, there was a fire truck that went by because we have a fire station next door. 3, 2, 1.
That's actually one of the first points that I want to stick on, which is something that I think I've said on this show and I've said other places that, people may have disagreed with me or took umbrage with something that I said, but we have too much of it in Michigan, right? Like, I've gone to other places, other cities, other states that have legalized marijuana, and it is still a thing you have to go do. There's still like a small adventure you have to take because of very strict and very severe zoning laws. And honestly, more, registration. There's more red tape for you to have to get involved in the marijuana industry in those places. Now, I'm not advocating for making business hard for people, but I am advocating for something should be hard. Like I am of the belief that, maybe getting your driver's license should be a little bit harder the way some people drive out here, right? But we have way too much of it. It is really, really odd to drive down a Ford road, per se, and to see, 4 weed shops within 2 blocks of each other.
Well, you're speaking of the number of shops, but we also have an oversupply problem in the amount that we're growing.
Yeah.
In that we're growing so much more than what people are buying, driving the price down. I mean, more than half. I don't want to go into so many numbers because we're talking about, we're in audio and people don't really love numbers when we're talking in sound, but price down more than half. So many businesses are folding because even though there's so much weed being sold, nobody's making any money.
Nobody's making money. And it's hard to do that when the market
70%.
is so, when the market is so bifurcated, right? Like when you have everybody can go to a head shop everywhere, the market is already not anywhere near as large as, say, alcohol, right? When you think about something like alcohol, that market is huge and has been huge for almost 100 years. And so you can almost get away with having as many liquor stores as you do. The problem is that liquor stores also realize you can't sell just liquor. They sell a bunch of stuff, and they have to, because if that was the case, you would just go to whatever's closest to you and everybody wouldn't be able to sustain themselves.
Listen, you need tonic for that gin and tonic.
Exactly. You have to sell other stuff. You got to sell snacks. You got to sell gum. You got to sell, and it sounds small, but it's the types of things that you got to realize that you have to do in order to stay relevant. With weed, the only thing you could do and buy is weed. Also, you can't use your credit card. And for some people, it sounds crazy because of the federal regulations. For some people, that still kind of is their thing. Like it's still their sticking point that they got to deal with cash. It makes them feel icky.
Well, the federal approach towards marijuana is absolutely ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and I'm not advocating for that. I think it's terrible. But you have too much of it. So when you have an overabundance of supply, naturally, we all hopefully pass 8th grade economics, demand will drive lower and lower and lower and lower.
Well, one thing that there are a lot of fears of is that with this tax rise, that the sales will go down even more, or the sales will go down.
Yeah.
Is the fear with it? I have a very complicated, kind of thoughts around this, because if you look at what a lot of marijuana users are saying, and we've had a lot of people in our comments, and there's been media conversation in the free press. There's been media conversation
everywhere.
In everywhere right now.
It's one of the, which is, I'll say this, y'all. It's kind of disappointing that out of that super huge budget we just passed with a bunch of crazy stuff in it, the marijuana thing is the thing that got us turned up about it. But that's another conversation for another day.
That is another conversation for another day. But the concern by a lot of marijuana users is, why are you taxing money on us? Why are you increasing our taxes to pay for roads? Why aren't you taxing road users to pay for roads? And I have a dual-sided argument that, one, I do think I've always thought the marijuana tax was too low in Michigan.
Well, it is.
It's just across the board. So I feel bad that it was set at that low of a rate to begin with. It never should have been.
Yeah.
I want things to be accessible to people, but it never should have been that low.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And I'm sorry to say that, but if we're going to do this and legalize it and create all those other externalities, we need to get the benefit from it. And I think being in the middle of the pack is really reasonable. I don't think we should be the lowest in the nation. Yeah. But I do understand the concern about the roads, because there's been so much money shifted around from different pots and things. And I do think that we do have the situation in Michigan where we will do anything, but make drivers pay the actual cost for what they use.
So, and the reason why we don't do that is because, and this goes back to everyone, not just voters who partake in marijuana. This goes back to everyone. We consistently do not vote for toll roads.
Which we can't do.
Which we can't do
on new stuff, on old stuff.
Yeah, on old stuff. It has to be like does it have to be a brand new county road at least, or something like that.
Or we have to, on the old stuff, we would have to refund federal money.
That's it. Yeah, we would have to refund the federal money. So you got that. And then we have consistently, regularly voted down gas tax. So the things that we could do to fund the roads without pulling from things like education funds and retirement funds from teachers and adding more taxes on marijuana, we have voted them down. So 50% of me as an individual goes, well, we didn't vote for the thing that would make this not needed.
Do you remember when Governor Gretchen Whitmer, I think it was near when she first came in office, I can't remember exactly, but she floated this plan that would actually pay for the roads to the level we need to keep them to the level that would be competitive with our other states that are nearby. Because the reality is that per person, we spend among the least.
Yes.
In reality, we are in a situation where we aren't spending enough. I know a lot of people like to yell in the comments and be like, MDOT's stealing money or this or that, or
no,
the roads
we don't
aren't going to
spend that much money on roads.
The bottom line is we don't spend enough, and we're adding more and more roads for the same amount of population.
Which is silly.
But this is what we're doing. This is the choice we've made.
No, we're doing that also because sprawl and people don't want to live in dense areas, whatever. But let's continue.
Whitmer put the number out of what it would actually cost, and it was dead on arrival. And we ended up doing a bonding issue, not actually fixing the core problem, doing a temporary Band-Aid and doing a bond issue instead of understanding what it actually costs to keep our infrastructure going, as well as transit, which should be a part of that. And I think in this most recent budget, they were a little bit fairer to transit than they have been in previous years. So I commend them for that. But we don't, whether it's roads or other things, in Michigan, we seem to have this issue where we don't understand what things actually cost. We just keep thinking, well, it should be X. We don't understand. We don't have the economic activity for it to be X, right?
No, not without other funding sources, and everybody has rejected those funding sources. And so now we've essentially forced the legislature, in order to adhere to the governor's plan, we have had to get creative. And the thing about this that I will empathize with the marijuana industry on this is what this feels like is everybody sat at the dinner table and we ordered $2,000 worth of food. And out of the 10 of us here, 8 people ate majority of the money worth of food. They ate $1,800 worth of food, and the other 2 people only ate $100 a piece. And now it feels like they have to pay more because we made an agreement to split all this evenly, when the rate of consumption was not even. And so marijuana users, I understand the marijuana industry, I understand their frustration because they're saying we are paying a outsized portion of tax in relation to how much we even use the thing compared to other industries. And my argument for that is, yes, that's true, but also at the same time, we have not sat down and created a context that allows us to have more tax revenue from things that we already do, right? So without building new roads, we have yet to pass, and this will be a city ordinance, but bear with me. We've yet to pass stuff like entertainment taxes, gas taxes. We don't have, marijuana doesn't even fall into the sin tax. Does it?
No.
Yeah, marijuana was written so it doesn't fall into sin tax. There's a lot of ways we could have made more money before now, and we, the people, have not voted for it. So what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do?
Politicians aren't having real conversations because they're not popular, right? These conversations, we can talk about it because we're not running for office.
Yeah.
But that's the reality. And I feel like as people who do acts of journalism, I think it's important for us to be honest about the situation. You know, another thing that we don't do in Michigan is we don't add value. So there aren't really that many wineries. There aren't that many consumption lounges. There aren't things where you can add value beyond just the product to then tax.
Yeah.
We don't have almost none of that.
No, we don't. And that was really supposed to be a part of the plan of legalization, is that was supposed to be sort of the phase 2 of it. And that was the thing that never came. And the reason why I think it never came is because the city of Detroit dragged its feet. If the city of Detroit is involved in this in a meaningful way in terms of recreational use and recreational shops, I think you get sort of dense city entertainment district people thinking about it in that way. But because most of the marijuana dispensaries are in the suburbs in places that half of them borderline don't want them zoned the way they're zoned currently to begin with. You create a system where they absolutely do. You in what area of Berkeley could you put a coffee shop? And by coffee shop, I mean in the Amsterdam style coffee shop.
You mentioned the city of Detroit. You mentioned different cities. It also gets me thinking about, I think, the final point for this episode before we throw it to people's feedback at dailydetroit@gmail.com or 313-789-3211 is that there were a lot of promises, and some might roll their eyes, but there were a lot of promises around social justice and equality.
There were, and I think it was one of those types of things where it meant well, but sometimes we got to put the dollars and cents first.
Let me give you a quote from Politico.
Yeah.
This is a report from 2023. In Michigan, nearly 90% of business license holders who responded to a state survey identified themselves as white, while those who indicated that they were Black, Latino, or Asian each accounted for no more than 5% of the total. That is the complete reverse of how this was sold, that this was going to be a thing that would help communities that were devastated by the war on drugs.
Yeah, and it just flat out didn't work because a combination of the state and the city of Detroit got so caught up with the fact that they didn't want certain people from outside the city to be able to come in and get licenses before people who were victims of marijuana convictions and so on and so forth. And again, on its face, that's a good idea. But when you run a municipality, when you run a business, when you run something that is supposed to generate revenue, you have to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. And the city proved that it was not able to do that. This was one of the biggest fumbles, really, I think, of the Duggan era that has yet to be rectified.
And a lot of that rested in council.
Yes, a lot of it rested in council. But at the same time, this is one of the biggest fumbles we've seen of the city of Detroit for a possible revenue source that just never came to fruition.
I think there could have been, if it was handled differently, I think there could have been more revenue and less nuisance.
No, absolutely.
Right? We could have gotten a much better situation. Imagine a district where we had those wineries and things and whatever and said, this is where we're going to do it.
I mean, listen.
We got the room.
I know a vacant property downtown right now that you could put a consumption lounge into that would pop off and it would be popular and people would go to it and it would be fantastic and it would be safe, it would be regulated, it would be taxed, and it would be another source of revenue for the city of Detroit.
You know, one of the newest consumption lounges is out in Sterling Heights, I guess.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Like,
which I'm great for them.
Fine,
they want, great. I'm not people do
Sterling Heights.
Sterling
have
Heights
a blast.
is economically successful. There's a lot of great parks. I have nothing bad. Random fact, my uncle back in the 80s was mayor of Sterling Heights.
I'm just saying, fantastic. Sterling Heights, I want y'all to enjoy all the things that you voted for. But when it comes to the city of Detroit, the city of Detroit overwhelmingly supported recreational marijuana, and they have seen zero benefit from it from a tax perspective. Zero.
Well, I would love to get your feedback, your thoughts. If you're an expert in the industry, if you want to share your ideas, how it's impacted your family, or if you're a consumer, or if you have concerns, dailydetroit@gmail.com, or leave a voicemail, 313-789-3211. That's 313-789-3211. Okay, before we go, as we are recording this, there is some breaking news that I want to discuss with you really quick.
Sure.
I know it's making the show longer than usual, but the Gordie Howe Bridge opening has been delayed until 2026. This has been reported by Crane's Detroit Business. First reported.
The tariffs. They can't get the stuff. The tariffs, y'all. It's as simple as that. Everything is more expensive. They've been working on this bridge for as long as I can remember, man. And now it's delayed till next year because raw materials cost a lot of money.
So here we go. The actual quote from the quote is, the handover of the Canadian Port of Entry and Port of Entry Agency building was delayed due to labor shortages and attrition due to construction of a very large car battery manufacturing plant in the same region. Interesting.
All right, cool.
So yeah, I mean, well, that's one concern that we do have. And one of the things that's actually driving up prices for development in Detroit is we do not have anywhere enough workers to build a lot of these things right now.
Nope. There's a shortage in the skilled trades and in construction workers. So also, I'm going to just put a call out right now for anybody listening, anybody watching. If you guys got friends that are looking for work that maybe potentially have some skills in these areas, man, they are looking for skilled tradespeople right now.
You know what? I misspoke. Utica is where the consumption
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Utica.
Yeah, Utica.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to our members on Patreon. We've got some new folks who've joined us very recently. We really appreciate you getting stickers and things out the door for you. Local media requires local support to survive. I mean, it's really important. This is a project that we run and do. There is no Palantir.
There's definitely not a Palantir, bro.
Behind what we do. We are not out of New York. We are not out of Virginia. We are not out of Los Angeles. We are out of Detroit.
We are out of the East and West Side.
That's right. So join us as a member, patreon.com/dailydetroit. It means a lot to us. And, I really appreciate it so much. But until tomorrow, remember that you are somebody. I'm Jer Stays.
I'm Norris Howard.
Take care of each other, and we'll see you around Detroit.
All right. Listen, man, I told you this. You was right, Jared. This got the chat turned up. I just want to.
It's spinning.
I just want to react to some of the things that people said. David says, I'm not a fan. I have an 8-year-old who loves candy. We've had to warn him about bad candy. My city approved unlimited license. I'm surrounded by stores in Center Line. And I wanted to say Highland Park.
Hazel Park. Because he mentioned a war.
I was about to say Highland Park, but Hazel Park. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Listen, first of all, David, if you are of a similar age of us, you remember to say no to drugs conversation. That's a conversation that parents have been having with their kids for the better part of 50 years. That's not unique. But I will say the unlimited license thing is exactly what I'm talking about. There's too much choice. There's too much of it going around. It's the same. It's almost like streaming services, dude. Like I don't know anybody that has every streaming service. Because at some point, you got to make a decision to say, dog, HBO ain't worth it for me. I don't use it enough.
Also, David, thank you for the hot tip on the Godfrey. It was like at the top of my brain, but I wasn't thinking about it. It's a really nice rooftop.
I love the Godfrey.
I love the western view of downtown from top of there.
Yeah, it was a view that didn't exist.
Yeah, I like it very much. Christian says to make sure to check out the Independent in Hamtramck. I know about Planet Ant. What's the Independent? Let me know. I know Planet Ant.
Yeah.
For comedy. But we need to have some people on from Planet Ant.
We should.
It might be fun to do a show or something over there. Like a live show on the stage. That could be fun. We know some folks over there.
Yeah.
I should do that. I should see what it costs to make that happen. A little fundraiser or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. By that argument, Christian also says we have too much alcohol too. I mean, I hear you.
Yeah, but the market,
we're just culturally
the market for alcohol is way larger. I mean, by measures of exponents, larger than the marijuana market. Because you gotta understand, beer, wine, liquor, the market for alcohol is so large that you can't count it all as one market. Because beer, liquor, and wine are all considered different markets.
Mr. Duckett keeps it real as always. My property taxes are insane in North Rosedale. Tax entertainment, tax cannabis, toll roads. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, look, but if you're a Detroiter, you are paying the second high. Your effective tax rate is second only to New York City.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, people are fronting like we just want to tax people into oblivion. No, Detroiters are already being taxed into oblivion. And so we might as well create some things that take some of the burdens off of individual households and actually start going towards things that generate more revenue for the city.
Well, and also for when we think about it regionally and statewide, because I got to keep in mind a lot of our listeners are across the region, okay? I think that making the money tie-barred to the usage means that we are responsible about deploying it. It creates economic incentives. If there is no incentive, like if you can build as many roads as you want, if you can put up subdivisions wherever the hell you want, and it costs you nothing, and then you're not factoring it into your plan, like,
and you're gonna keep doing it.
You're gonna keep doing it, right? It's what is it? The tragedy of the commons or something along those lines. So I think about that where it's like I'm not anti. Like, I like cars. I like nice cars. I like fancy cars. I like old cars.
Yeah.
I also like bikes. I'm also an urbanist. But it just makes more sense where it's like, why are we having this stupid ass land use policy?
Yeah.
Let's see. Siren Rain. Hello, welcome. Are you new? Has there been any inkling that District Detroit would break ground on LCA Hotel this year or anytime reasonable? No.
No.
No. I can send a note over. I will ask, but I don't feel like it. Well, considering how late we are in the season now, there would be nothing
till off season
until it warms up again.
Yeah, nothing till off season for both Red Wings and Pistons, which is the summertime.
Yeah. They're not going to do it in the middle. They're not going to.
No, they're not going to break ground in the middle of the season.
Yeah. So that. Also, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of questions about District Detroit, but I do know with District Detroit, like, I don't know. I have a general sense that they have been trying to put together folks to throw in on District Detroit, and if they had raised the money, it would have started by now. I don't feel super confident on their road show on that one.
No, me neither. I mean, there's also sort of a holding pattern with District Detroit until I think the U of M facility over there is finished. There's also, I think, kind of a let's see just how poppin' that is.
You know who I'm scheduled, I think I'll be able to talk to, is Eric Larson, the head of the Downtown Detroit Partnership, since I'm going to be at that event tomorrow. I'm going to ask him about the 375 cap, and I will ask him about if he knows anything about this.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see here. Interesting how many tiny Michigan towns with legacy pension debts have embraced legal weed first. Romeo, Utica, Hazel Park, Centerline, Walled Lake, and
All people smoke hella weed, bro.
But also Hazel Park has been able to revolutionize some of what they're doing with weed money.
Yeah, there's that. And because, once again, because Hazel Park understood, hey, man, look at all this money that we're getting from this industry that didn't exist for us 5 years ago.
Independent is the comedy club in the back of Ant Hall. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool. So here's one thing also I want to say about that comment also, David, is Romeo, Utica, Hazel Park, Centerline, Walled Lake, Monroe. What are all types of people is that? Blue collar workers, people who have worked on lines, plants, the skilled trades, all that kind of stuff. People who still use their bodies to work, and therefore higher rates of marijuana usage.
Mr. 1213 mentioned this, and I didn't cover it on the show until we get a little bit more secure on it, because it's not done yet. I do appreciate the reporting on that. He says that I am excited that a defense tech company may be eyeing Detroit to open another location. I hope that there's enough Detroiters that can qualify. If not, let Metro Detroiters apply as well. There's going to be a couple of things. First off, I'm really glad to see the possibility of action at that Albatross. That was the UAW training center.
Yeah.
On prime real estate. It just didn't make sense even when it was built, really.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad to see something like this. This is going to be a mix of Detroiters and Metro Detroiters, because this is going to be cloud infrastructure.
Here's what I want. I want people who didn't live here previously.
So you want to move in?
Yes. That's what I want. I want more. I want a additional, because 9 times out of 10, if you're a Metro Detroiter, you're not about to leave whatever home you're already paying your mortgage on.
Well, with this kind of technology, you might have people coming in from across other places, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
This is a pretty big deal company.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if it's defense, then I want people coming in from DMV. You have a lot of people coming in from Virginia. Maybe some people coming in from the West Coast. That's what I want. I want people who did not live here previously coming here. That's what I want.
Siron, I'm so glad you've been listening for years. I meant the chat, but yes, so glad that you've been listening for years and being part of the community. It's really, really awesome. Christian, I just mean, from what are we really concerned about here, i.e. weed booze? That makes sense. Like, what are we concerned?
The concern for the industry is that the taxes are so high that it'll drive people away from purchasing legal marijuana, because it's the wholesale tax. So it's basically it's the tax that the businesses are going to have to pay, and then of course that is going to be shifted to the consumer.
There's also a number of consumers who worry that this is going to make it less affordable for them to get what they describe as their medicine. It's recreational,
and that's fair, but also, like, you paying $20 for an eighth, bro. Like it's at the same time, like we I get it, but also I don't get it. And this is just me and my personal feelings. I'm not an advocate for any group or anyone. This is just Norris's personal feelings, which is this is like a recreational thing, for most people. you don't have to do this for most people, and therefore, all right, you gotta pay a little bit extra if we want to have good roads, good schools, whatever. I don't care, bro.
So Mr. 1213 says Detroit has a 51% hiring clause on businesses who want to open in Detroit. This is about the UAW Center becoming that cloud thing. I could be wrong. Okay, so let me walk through that because I was there when this thing came together. That is only applying if you get city money.
City money.
So if they're getting city money, yes. And also, that often usually only applies to the construction.
Yep.
Unless it's a special project like Stellantis was. And even then, you do things like you can pay a fine that goes to job training to get around that, because I'm going to say a little secret from working in staffing. I know that there is a lot of pride around this issue. And I know that there are a lot of really talented Detroiters that can do jobs. And I know that there's not enough upskilling up there. But I also know there aren't enough qualified people in a lot of these jobs.
No.
As much as the propaganda will tell you, or politicians will tell you that there's gaps. And so
not in defense tech. That's what I'm saying. These got to be new people. These got to be.
But we also need to upskill folks as much as we can.
It's both.
Yeah.
You got to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. But for stuff like this, I anticipate.
Stellantis, they were able to nail it.
Yeah. Well, again,
the auto plant.
Look, it's an auto plant. Come on, of course we had the talent for something like that. We got people whose blood is built in the plants, literally.
Fundamentally, this gets to the issue that the city of Detroit proper has. I think it's like only 20% or less of Detroiters have college degrees at this point. And that is a challenge. That's straight up a challenge.
But see, to me, it's again, that's where the upskilling and training comes from. Because to me, it's not so much about the degrees. It's about, do you even have the context in which people can go and get the training if they want it? And right now, we don't even have that. That's the thing. Unless you go and get a 4-year degree, a lot of the training for some of these jobs simply don't exist.
In that particular area. Now, there is a lot of job training that some of these fines goes to pay for. So I think that's generally a good thing, especially when city money is involved. And it's often involved in these larger projects to make them make sense.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
By defense tech, do we mean like Palantir? I think these are cloud servers.
This is cloud servers. It's not all. It's not.
Hold on, let me look up. I think it's called. What is the company?
I mean, but listen, is Palantir probably going to come to Detroit at some point and have a branch here? Probably.
Well, there was just the announcement that Tim Draper is going to be doing a large investment in Troy because he's had successful cryptocurrency startups in Birmingham. And was it Troy?
That's why you're starting to see billboards about the Clearly Act and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
in downtown Detroit.
You have Big Sean fronting for crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So that's.
Yeah, listen, it's when it comes to defense tech, because of the actual hardware manufacturing infrastructure that we have in Detroit, that is going to be attractive for a lot of these folks. But this one, I think, is mostly servers.
So this is the multi-phase project would also include a startup incubator, according to Crain's Detroit Business, and a workforce training hub. Going quick, it's called Echelon is the company.
Echelon, okay.
I'm not. People, chat, you can all do more research on this one.
But to your point, they're building the job training out already within the development because they're not going to be able to have 51%.
Okay, so let's. Echelon helps forward-focused organizations solve complex challenges with smart, scalable solutions from national security to biotech. We ignite innovation to drive progress.
That means nothing. That is word salad.
So apparently they have Project Spectrum, which is the go-to platform for businesses to ensure compliance with cybersecurity regulatory requirements. Links is
software.
Links is networking industry, government, and development organizations to harness innovation.
Software.
The Valiant Cloud.
Software.
That is comply with federal cybersecurity standards, safeguard sensitive information, and protect intellectual property.
Yep.
And then we have 3Ideal, revolutionizing 3D manufacturing for the Department of Defense through AI. And
that could be both. That could be software and hardware.
And then Chessie, a rugged, high-endurance, low-cost, autonomous underwater vehicle capable of being modified to conduct numerous mission sets in the maritime domain.
Hardware.
Yeah.
So mostly software, a couple of hardware-based special projects, but they're creating a tech hub because starting out day one, I don't think they're going to meet that 51%.
Christian is frustrated with the system generally. That so many people are frustrated with the system.
But I want to. Okay, so I'm just thinking, the weed conversation is more stigmatized than necessary. I'm also not saying we shouldn't increase the tax. And should at least somewhat. No, I think the stigma around weed has fallen apart. I don't think the conversation is stigmatized. The stigma is not coming from weed. The stigma is coming from tax. That is the stigma. It's not about weed. The stigma, the stick in the craw is about people don't want to pay taxes. That is the stick in the craw. And that is beyond just this being weed. If this was another consumer good, if we said the same thing about alcohol, this would be even louder.
I think there's some folks. So one of the things that I've learned in recent years is that there's never anything that's settled. Right? Like there was this whole thing politically where, so-and-so won, so things are settled. I think there are forces that would like to roll back weed legalization.
Of course there are forces.
And I
but
think
are those forces... There are forces, but hold on. I'll push back on that. And as Christian said, like two things can be true, but I'll push back on that because I think that ultimately in the general public, this is a thing we've gotten past. Just like gay marriage. This is not an issue to the average American. This is not a thing
This is an issue on X.
This is an issue on Twitter. This is not a thing people care about in real life. That ship has sailed. The thing to me is taxes. People don't want to pay more money for their shit.
Well, we've had a very active chat.
Yeah, and I love it, guys. And the more you guys come in and contribute to the chat, the more we get turned up. It gives us energy. And I love chatting with y'all, and I love chatting with Jared. But we gotta get prepared for some things for the rest of the week. So unfortunately, I think that's where we may be closing up shop for today.
Yeah, we got to get this gear that we are recording live with over. Though you're not joining me tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. I got a bunch of stuff going on tomorrow. So,
yeah. But maybe depending on availability of folks, we'll throw on something for our mayoral chat. We'll see.
Yeah.
No promises.
No promises.
No promises. We'll just see what we can do.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate everyone, new and old. I will ask, and you know what? I was thinking about this Siren Rain, not just that one project. I think I'm going to ask in general because that ties into the 75 cap conversation that the Downtown Detroit Partnership is kind of shepherding that conversation with. I feel like it's all tied together because District Detroit's right there, UMCI. There's a lot of news right there, and I want to kind of see how people are feeling right now.
I wish I could go, but I gotta be elsewhere, unfortunately. But if I get out of what I'm doing early, maybe I'll slide down. We'll talk off air.
We'll talk off air. But I think everybody, this chat is great. Please come on back for this. We're going to keep doing this every Tuesday afternoon.
I've been to that drive-through safari.
Okay, before I say goodbye, apparently there is a drive-through capybara experience.
Yes, it's fantastic.
What?
Yeah.
Friends.
You got to go. That's Jared's favorite animal, folks, is the capybara.
We were joking that we should do a live stream from the Detroit Zoo with the capybaras behind us.
Yes. Jared wants to go to the capybaras. I want to go to the Penguin House.
And just have them behind us the whole time. Yeah. That would be amazing as a background. But that is amazing, David. I am jealous of you, absolutely. By the way, hi to you and all of your fam over there. We appreciate you so much. But we got to be done for today, and I really appreciate you. As always, if you haven't already, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever shows are found. Our membership is at patreon.com/dailydetroit. You can sign up for our newsletter at dailydetroit.com. We got tons of new stuff happening with all of that going on. So really appreciate you. So remember that you are somebody. Take care of each other, and we will talk very soon.